My name is Kyle, and I'm going to tell you about the time I killed 12 people. I didn't even need to leave my room. Now, I know what you're going to say. That I'm evil, that I'm a monster. Why? Why do this? I know. But to understand these questions, I'm going to need to take you back to the day that this all started. One quiet winter night in my room. I was spending my Friday night like I usually did, on the computer talking to my girlfriend, Emily. I met Emily because she was work friends with my close friend, Ryan. We were video chatting and, to be honest, we had not met in person yet. Well, she thought we were going to meet sometime this year or the next, but I knew we never would. As I stared at her beautiful face and those eyes that I've come to enjoy every other day to bring me comfort, I remember that everything I told her was a lie. Yeah, that's right. I'm a catfish. I haven't lied about my appearance. She could see that clearly, but to her, I was successful. I drove a nice car, worked a good job, something that Photoshop and her obvious lack of intuition couldn't solve. In reality, I worked at a pizza place as a delivery driver, and I lived in a shitty apartment. It wasn't hard to dress up a room to look nicer or use the whole, I just need to clean up excuses. But before you can judge me, look, I know. Back then, I saw no harm in it because I could just ghost her and move on without consequence. But now, after all that will happen, I just can't fathom how I could have been so foolish. We were talking for what seemed like hours, and that's simply because, well, it was. When I wished her a good night, I went to shut off my PC and maybe play some games for the rest of the night. I mean, it was only like 6 or 7 p.m. But something got the better of me, and I decided to keep on browsing. The snowing outside just really added to the moment. It was quiet. The snow was falling. The gentle kisses on the window from the snowflakes against the glass was just beautiful. And I always had my video chatting software open when I was browsing, just in case one of my friends decided to send me a message, want to chat for a bit, or even play some games with me, but I was lying to them as well, before you even ask. But then, I got a notification that somebody was requesting to chat. Odd. I don't know this person. They had a generic screen name that I paid no attention to at first, but after a second glance, I realized that their username was The Next Killer. It was a little cringe, and I decided against my better judgment that I should accept it. At least I could maybe get a good troll session in if it ended up being a bot, but almost instantly, I got a message. You're next. Who is this? Gary, are you screwing with me right now? You must kill 12 people before the night is over, or the next chosen will have you as number 1. Yeah, okay. Machine guns blazing? Oh, I know. I'll start a wildfire. I hope you enjoy getting reported. You're first. Good luck. Before I could even respond, my screen went black. Then a tiny window popped up with what looked like a webcam view of someone's apartment. Odd. It looked like maybe it was a camera mounted on a smart fridge or something like that because I could see all sorts of kitchen equipment. In the background, I could hear a TV going, and soon, a man walked into frame. He was maybe in his 30s and he was well kept, and he seemed more well off than me, at least. We were about the same age, I guess. He started simply making a sandwich on the counter while sipping a bottle of beer, and it was here a text prompt came up. In it was 3 options. What the hell? 1. The knife slips. 2. The water spills. Or 3. The gas releases. Obviously, this was crazy or some sort of fake prank from a bot. Maybe I just got hacked and now I gotta run my antivirus software for the next 5 hours. If only I was far more smart like that than I am now. Back then, I couldn't think of it. I mean, just for the shits and giggles, I typed 1. and then the prompt went away. I bore witness to horror. On the next stroke of the man's knife, he slit his wrist long ways. He didn't stop. It was like something was controlling him, and it kept going. And he didn't even scream or make a sound. The man fell onto the ground, and the once clean kitchen was covered in an ocean of blood. I panicked. I wanted to believe it wasn't real, but my gut told me it was. The screen went blank again, and a new prompt appeared. What is your desire? What do you mean? I typed, though I admittedly said as much aloud. What is your desire? It repeated the question, and I decided to play along again. Why? Why did I do this? I don't want to do this. That is my desire. If you pass it on, you will be on the chosen 12 to the next one. How do we even know this is real? It was here a new page appeared. It was a webpage of the man I just killed. Social media. He was a real person. I couldn't take this. I had to stand up. I paced forever, just panic washing over me in an anxious wave of misery. What had I done? But yet, I looked at my shitty apartment and thought of all the things the man had that I did not. And I thought of all the lies that I had told, of how successful I was, and I could get away with my lies if this was real. Greed took over, and I sat down to test this desire. My desire is to have $100,000 in my bank account right now, as if that was going to happen. I didn't even believe it was real for one moment. Maybe that wasn't even a real video. Maybe it was just some sort of sick fake snuff film or something. Your desire has been granted. My phone would ding. A notification from my bank. A deposit for money had arrived, and I could not believe my eyes. This was truly real. I couldn't enjoy it for long, however, when the next screen was a CCTV camera of a laundromat. Two women who were obviously together were folding some clothing, and it was obvious that they knew each other due to the fact that they were conversing, and it seemed like they were having a good time. Maybe it was that time of week where you just went to the laundromat, I guess. I couldn't relate. I don't know why I was so captured by it, though. I enjoyed watching from a screen, like a person looking through glass at the zoo. Yet they couldn't see me, and I liked that. It floods. It shoots. It scores. What do these even mean? Instead of giving a detailed selection, it seemed to just give me some sort of haiku that some stoner at the office would send in a chain email or something. I was in a state of disbelief, but something more compelling inside me came over. Was I broken? Was I a psycho? Or was some sort of invisible force guiding me to these decisions? I chose the one that seemed the least harmful. It scores. I shouldn't have. Another screen appeared. It was of a baseball game that was happening nearby on live television. It kept the CCTV footage up in a split screen. And when the batter hit the ball, it flew way out of the field. A third screen appeared, showing a traffic camera where the ball flew through an open window of somebody driving down the street. It hit the driver in the head, and well, the lone screen left on my monitor was the laundromat. The car crashed through the front and impacted both women, but it didn't end there. Oh God. An explosion took out the camera and all I saw was black. Nothing. Just silence. I was left stunned, left to realize what I had done. 4 dead. How does it make you feel? What about my desire, huh? Prick. Isn't that how this game works? This is your desire, Kyle. Killing people is not my desire. Then why are you not running away? Why did you continue? You've lied your whole life. It's not out of the question that you were lying to yourself. What makes you think that I have lied my whole life, huh? What makes you think that I've lied my whole life? I didn't know people who worked in Pizza Palace, drove a BMW, and studied law. Damn it. He had me there, but how did he know so much? Was it even a he? Was it even human? How do you know about me? I know everything about you, Kyle. If you do not play along, so will everyone else when you are gone. The thought of that was far worse than the killings for me. I couldn't shake that. I was a selfish person. I know, and I accept that now, but yet I continued. The next people I killed were more strangers. I kept doing this, and with every kill I desired more money. Now I had a BMW sitting in my driveway. I even had a new home, a nice house that I would move into just the next day. What was I doing? I couldn't be stopped. Every kill was more bloodshed, more destruction. I'm amazed that I'm getting away with all this, but yet they all look like accidents. The idea of being found out just scared me, and the idea of all the things I lied about now being mine was, well, thrilling. I didn't have to lie anymore. I could finally say I was being honest, even if it wasn't the case. I think if you've been following around with my story, you know that wasn't the case. The next chosen. Show me. The window came up with the street camera, and I could see people around my age, around 3 of them, standing outside the bar, but it was a little low quality and I couldn't make them out clearly. But when the car passed by, it illuminated the dark and I recognized one. My friend Ryan. I put 2 and 2 together. Ryan was with my other 2 friends, Richard and Stanley. No. I remember. Earlier in the day, Ryan had invited me out to the bar. I mean, how did I forget that? But I couldn't do this. They were my friends. I can't do this one. Give me somebody else. Anybody else. You must do this, or you will be passed on and chosen. They are my friends, okay? I can't do this. Are you insane? They are not your friends. They don't even know who you are. How can they be your friends if you lied to them all your life? I've met them, okay? They don't know what I do for a living or that I don't drive BMW. I always made some excuse to walk or take a bus to their homes, but I don't have to lie anymore. I now have everything I lied about. I mean, I won't do this. Is that your desire? To be chosen? I was brought down to earth. All of this could be for nothing if I passed on it. All those deaths to get everything that I wanted in life, it would have been for nothing. The moral choice would just be to accept my fate. But I couldn't. Something inside me wouldn't let me. It was like a monster hiding in my skin. I felt the itch crawling over me, like tiny little insect bites causing me misery, as the anxiety was far too much to comprehend. I couldn't live with the consequences, especially when I had everything. I started even weighing the pros and cons in my head. What was wrong with me? These were my friends, and yet, would they have accepted who I really was? A burnout with a drinking problem, I played games too much, living paycheck to paycheck? No, they wouldn't. I told myself that, but now I knew that they would have. But it was too late. I was too far gone in this short amount of time since this started. Maybe I always was like this. Maybe I just needed the push. Maybe I just needed to be enabled. The sky is falling. The land is war, and the ground is crumbling. Ugh, more riddles. I swear this guy would have been a cringe poet in his day. But I knew each choice was fatal. I looked at my friends, the only people outside of Emily that I had in my life, my sources of fun and comfort. The ground is crumbling. I watched, my breath being sucked in, but nothing seemed to happen. What was going on? It only took moments to realize what was happening. Emily, she walked out of the bar with them. Panic set in. How do I stop it? She was clearly hanging out with them. She was on her phone typing, and here's where I heard my phone ding. It was her sending me a text saying, "Hey, out with getting some drinks with the boys. Miss you. Talk to you later." Make this stop. Nothing. No reply. I know you're there. Make it stop. Still. Nothing.
I watched in horror as the earth swallowed them, a sinkhole forming to swallow the entire sidewalk I stood on, yet it left everything around it intact. The bar, nothing else was damaged. To the outside world, it looked like bad luck, but only I knew it was murder. That was my 12. I killed strangers and everyone I ever loved. I broke down. Hot tears flooded my face as my heart beat faster. My muscles ached with mournful symphonies of sorrow that flooded my every vein. Silence. In my open phone to her text made me wish that this was a dream. I wish I could tell you that my eyes closed, and when I opened them this never happened, or that this was finished, but yet another prompt opened. What is your desire? I thought I was done. This never ends, Kyle. You must now pass it on, or this will continue forever. But we cannot continue until we know what your desire is before the stroke of midnight. When this night ends and a new day begins. That's not what you said in the beginning. Who are you? Why are you making me do this? Why? You accepted the request. You chose this. You could have lived a different life than you are now. You chose every sin in your life. You chose to kill instead of dying yourself. Who are you? Tell me. I was the last person that was chosen. A cold chill went up my spine. Someone just like me. A cold, selfish person. What is your desire? We come to now. I have written this as evidence as to what happened tonight. I started at 7 p.m. now. It's 3 minutes to midnight. And in the span of that time, I killed 12 people and I became everything I lied about. Now I have nothing left in my heart. The prompt asking me for my final desire, it was still there. I wanted to be the person who finds this. I want you to know that I am not a good person. I won't try to fight that. But I must live with what I am and who I really am. If you find this, know that. To die. I wrote this, but I paused. I didn't post it. I slowly deleted it. I was the master of my fate now. I gave in. To choose. My screen turned off and my entire room was consumed in blackness. Everything shifted, and when I was able to see again, I was alight with hundreds of screens before me. Many different cameras, many different people. On the computer in front of me, there was a chat window, and now 12 people were in the chat with me. All with the same username, yet a different color. Mine was blue. My favorite. Welcome. That was all I saw from every person in the chat. I could feel a presence behind me. A tight grip on my shoulders from a monster living inside me. A guiding force that let me become the killer I was meant to be. I may have given into the darkness, but at least I was being honest now. No reason to hide. I have become death. Who's next?